Okay, so one thing I forgot in the last chapter is we just need to check the other maps over here, except for the position map. And then we just need to press bake. And then the palette will be done. So let's press bake. And I'll pause the video until that one is done. There we go. And one last thing that you want to do is you now want to only check the position map. Because the position map needs 16 bits. So you want to set your format to 16 bits. And then just press bake again. And that's it. So now you can see all your maps are done. So now what we can do is in our textures folder, let's start by making a folder that we'll call crates. And in this folder, we'll make a folder that we'll call bakes. And let's go ahead and make a folder, what was it? Boxes. Boxes. And in here also a folder called bakes. There we go. So this scene, we can actually just keep this scene so we can reuse it. So if we go to exports and crates. Now the cool thing about this is that we have a bake project. We can just double click on it, or click once on it and call it palette. Now once it is done, you can simply duplicate this. So right click, duplicate, call this for example crate A. And in this crate A, what you want to do is you just want to delete your palette, low poly and high poly. The output, you want to go ahead and just set that to crates, bakes, and call this crate A, and save. And I'm just going to go ahead and set this back to normals, and the format back to 8 bits. So, all we need to do now is we have crate A, so high poly, low poly, drop that in here. And then in a palette you can just press the little eye icon to hide it. And drag your low poly into the low, high poly into the high. Once again here in all our materials, just keep pressing delete until everything is gone. And then you just want to click on your low to double check that your cage is still hitting, it's still like covering everything. It seems like it is. Yeah. Yeah, that seems surprisingly good. I expected it to give me some problems. But we can give it a try. So I think the biggest problems that we will get is with like the big piece over here. If we turn off the high, here you can see how that we have really large open spaces over here. So I feel like there might be something happening there. But we have our low. So now if we simply go in here, create A, everything's set up. Yes, so now all we need to do is press bake. And give that a second. And now we need to press the P to preview. Once again, doesn't work. So let's that. Oh wait, there it is. Yeah, the updating thing is strange. Ah, our first problem. Here you can see that we have a little problem. This is most likely our cage. Here you see, our cage is not able to capture this piece because it doesn't have enough geometry. So it's clipping in, and because it's clipping in, the high poly is sticking out above the cage. And this is actually really good because it shows you the problems with what happens if the cage does not hit above the high poly. So that's something that we'll need to fix. Let's click on create one. Our top actually worked really nice. Look at that. For remember those UVs, how I wouldn't say messy, but just how quick that we did those. And now here this all seems to look just fine. I'm surprised also that this flat piece is working so well, so that's quite nice. Probably because it's a plane. If it would have had like closed faces on both sides, then it would probably get like way stronger smoothing. And down here, oh, what is this? Cage problem? No, doesn't look like a cage problem. That's something that I will fix after we've done like the extra geometry, because the rest looks fine. This one, it's an interesting. I'm going to see if it's like a UV problem. So we can go over here inside of our scene and let's open up our plastic crate. Okay, so crate low poly. First things first, because before I forget, so this is most likely this one. Let's go ahead and just select all of it. Go to UV editing. And I just want to see if... Ah, see? Whoa. Okay, hello. Something went definitely wrong here. You guys might have already got it and I just didn't. So let's select press Ctrl L. Okay, so it is part of one mesh. So it looks like it did not properly cut around the UVs, which is strange because it seems that might be that maybe there's like a double vertices. So let's just select A to select all of our vertices and just press Q and let's do a merge by distance. Oh no, so that's fine. Okay, in that case what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select it, because if it doesn't want to play ball, then we're just going to force the UV unwrap and we're just going to pull it out of here. Because the unwrap itself is fine. You can see that there's no stretching. For some reason it just stays attached to this piece. It might be that there's just like a wrong face. There's so much stuff that can happen. So once you selected it, just move it out. Double check. This one is still fine. Okay. And here we still have plenty of space left. So let's just go ahead. Let's go to rotate. Maybe like rotate it. Rotate this. Come on. And then one thing that I do not trust is over here. Oh no. For a moment there I thought that was a double face because it's darker than the rest. But that seems to be fine, so we'll check it out. Okay, so that fixes that UV problem. Now if we go to modeling, the only thing that we really need to do for this is we just need to press Ctrl R and just place a simple edge in between here. And that will give our cage more than enough space, or it should give us enough space to actually push that out. So let's file, export, OBJ. So these ones are a bit easier than a palette. Exports, turn on selection only, crates, crate ALP. There we go, and that will auto update. So now if we just go ahead and do a quick rebake. There we go, so that's fixed. And close. We are close, but it's still not fixed the way I wanted to. Now, I can show you a trick. It probably won't work, but I can still show you just in case. So what you can do is you can actually paint the offset, so the expansion or retraction of your cage with the paint offset over here. And now for this one here, you can see there's like this little brush. So if you click on it, you will go ahead and like paint it out, but if you hold Ctrl, you will paint it larger. So now this is where auto bake comes in. So if you do quick in auto bake, here you can see like roughly how it affects. Now it looks like from this view that we actually need to have also a low horizontal edge, because this doesn't seem to work. So I'm just going to clear this because I just wanted to show it to you, just in case you have different errors, because of course, yeah, you never know, you might have slightly different errors than me. So I'm just going to press Ctrl R and I'm just going to press a quite low an edge like that. See, all the way around, and that should already fix it. And if not, then I would be quite surprised. So a low poly, crate, bake. Yeah, so there's like a tiny bit of problems, but I'm not too worried about that. I think that's because it's more clipping into here with the other pieces. So yeah, and I don't think it even matters if we do like some offset painting. Now see here, so that doesn't really matter. So I'm happy with this. You will never be able to see tiny problems like that once we're actually done with the texture, especially because it's a dark material. So I'm fine with this bake, just to keep it nice and quick. So that is that one. Let's go ahead and now select everything else except for position. Press bake and I'll pause the video. There we go. And now just turn everything off except for position. Set the format to 16 bits and bake again. And there we go. So let's save our scene. And let's go ahead and just press Ctrl D. Yeah, you can do that too. You can right click duplicate or you can press Ctrl D, whatever you want. And just call this like crate B. And once again, we go through the process of deleting our high poly. So yeah, we just need to do this a few times. Crate B. Drag those in. See? So baking is, if you handle it well, it's not too difficult. I can remember when I was learning baking, oh, it was such a pain. to just get it right. And now it's just one of those things that is boring to do, but not difficult. So that's all looking fine with the cage. I'm just going to hide my high poly. Gonna go in crate B. This crate A. I'm just going to make a new folder called B just in case. Just do not have all of a sudden like 16 files. So crate B, save, normal, 8 bits, bake, and come on, and P for preview. Look at that. We have some tiny... Oh no, wait, this is inverted. So that's one problem. We need to revert that. Oh, there's another invert over here and over here. Wow, did I really miss those? I probably forgot to do the check. The check, I'm sure that I've covered it yet, but if I didn't, basically it's going into crate B LP, then going down here and turning on face orientation. And red is bad. So unless, because red means that the faces are flipped. But all you need to do really is you just need to select the pieces. So let's say we select this, press Shift N. And Shift N will recalculate the normals, as you can see over here. And that often does the trick. If it doesn't work, you can still press inside to manually flip the normals. But this is basically, you just press Shift N, which recalculates the normals. And then Blender will say like, oh, okay, so you want me to swap around the normals so that they are extending outwards. I don't know, this often happens when I accidentally scale it in the opposite direction. So here I'm just continuing pressing Shift N. Because like a cylinder, it's very easy to scale it in the minus accidentally instead of in the plus without noticing. And then it will just have the faces flipped. But this is all we need to do and that will fix it. And for the rest, this bake came out really well. So I'm quite happy with how there aren't any other problems. So here we can just export this now. Objet, crate B, there we go. Go in here. See, so those are now back. So now if you press bake and done. No. Oh, I know why. Wanna know why? You probably already guessed it. Because of course our high poly is also still flipped. I wasn't thinking about that. So of course, if I go in here, turn on face orientation, here. So I thought, let's do Shift N. I thought it wouldn't be the case because these ones are not flipped, but it turns out that the handle is actually flipped. So that's where the problem was lying. So once that is done, and I will pause the video until this is done. Okay, that's done. Let's reload that. Inside of Marmoset, it's reloaded. And bake. There we go. So that's all fixed. Perfect. So this bake is done. And I love it when when the bake ends up being good. Like this. Because here you can see this is our low poly. But if we look at our high poly, there's almost... Here, see? Low poly, high poly. I like that. Sorry. That was my bit of fun. And I'm going to end up the chapter there for this point. Because in the next chapter we will go ahead and we will do the box. Although maybe we can do it in this chapter. I will do it very quickly just to have like a clean close. So duplicate this. And let's hope I don't regret this, that we have problems. So let's just go ahead and... Oh yeah, I will bake this after I've done this. Let's just quickly go into boxes. Oh, export boxes. High poly, low poly. Let's throw that in. Just because I like to have clean cuts in my chapters so that you guys can just follow it along step by step. So this one. Let's go in textures, boxes, bakes, box A, normals, and let's go ahead and just press bake. Give that a second. Preview it. Oh, turn off your high poly. I think we need to set our cage a little bit bigger. Let's try that again, bake. And just in case, I'm just going to like go in here, boxes, bakes, grab this normal map and just give that a try. So, apply it on here. And if this, it has some problems. So, yeah, it has some normal map problems. So what I'm going to do is in the next chapter, we will go ahead and continue with this because we are running out of time. And then we'll also go ahead and we'll start with like some base setup inside of Painter. So this is now ready. So let's go ahead and continue with this in the next chapter.